So now we're talking about entertainment, but it's not really entertainment news, but it does come from TMZ. That's where we source some entertainment news sometimes. But Trump's DEI hate, in other words, his hate for DEI, actually caused a real fight in the DCA control tower in DC, where they're controlling the airplanes landing. So I'll just get to the article because the rest of it you can fill in yourself. Remember the plane collision in DC where everyone died, and Trump said it must be because of DEI, and turned out it wasn't, but he blamed DEI when he first got in there. All right. So TMZ, a couple air traffic controllers came to blows on the job at Reagan National Airport. And one of the guys' lawyers tells TMZ the fight boiled down to President Trump's disdain for DEI hiring policies. Damon Gaines is facing misdemeanor assault and battery charges for the March 2025 fight inside the air traffic control tower at DCA. And he's going in front of a judge tomorrow to learn his fate. Gaines' lawyer, Robert Jenkins, tells TMZ the co-worker his client brawled with was commenting on Trump's anti-DEI crusade, and Gaines took offense to some of the comments, leading to a dust-up on the tower floor right in front of the control screens. We're told Gaines was upset because the co-worker suggested Gaines was less competent and his hiring was connected to DEI policies. Through his lawyer, Gaines told TMZ the fight was unfortunate and regrettable, and if he had to do it all over again, he would have looked for a different way to resolve the disagreement. Gaines' attorney says both employees threw punches and both acted as aggressors. Cops were called and Gaines was issued a summons for assault and battery, and TMZ is told the FAA suspended him for 45 days without pay. Gaines' lawyer said he's back on the job after an FAA probe said he had a superb track record with the agency, and this was the first time in 15 years on the job he got in trouble. TMZ is also told things are back to normal in the DCA control tower and everyone's getting along, but it will be interesting to see what happens in court with Gaines. Okay, so you want to go first, Q, or should I jump off this ledge?
Listen, man, punks jump up to get beat down and catch nothing but a beat down. That needed to be stated.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that too. Because
it's a really interesting thing going on.
Go ahead, dog. Say it. Yeah.
Where their leader has emboldened the worst of them to pump their chest out and think that they can just say and do whatever they want without consequence. I shared a story with Ramses and with some of our listeners about an unprovoked man walking up to me on the streets in Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah.
And calling me a stupid effing N-word. Mm-hmm. Unprovoked. Never met this man, never done him any harm, never disrespected him, nothing. And God bless my heart for the restraint that I had to practice on that day, because in this man's path, just beyond his interaction with me, was a Black woman and her 2 Black daughters.
This was a couple months ago, right?
Yeah. And my mind immediately went to, okay, I need to place myself in between him and those little girls.
Yeah.
Because that's his disdain for Black people that he's screaming at me. It's not about me. He's never met me. So this is how he feels about Black people in general. And this new administration, this president has emboldened the worst parts of these types of people to, in public, act in ways that a decade ago would have been shameful, even if it's how they really felt, which is why I've always pushed back against this idea that we're glad that they're saying it out loud now, because I'm not. We do not live with these people. We are not required to be loved by these people. We don't spend our private time with these people. But once upon a time, in order to keep their jobs, in order to keep going to their churches, in order to look like decent people to their neighbors, these people had to pretend to be polite and decent to us in public. And that was the only time we were interacting with them. So that was enough. That they were calling us the N-word at their own house, in their own basement with their own friends did not matter. It's when we made it unshameful and beyond the scope of personal restraint to start treating us and communicating to us this way out loud, because the leader of the free world showed them that not only was that okay, but that you could behave that way and become the president twice. So yeah, everything he points to as bad, so do the tens of millions of people that support him. So now these people, because they lack critical thinking abilities, have been taught by him what's bad. Not that diversity, equity, and inclusion is bad, but that DEI is bad, because DEI is its own word. That's a bad word to them. In their mind, it means black person that got an opportunity over me that they didn't deserve. They feel that same way about affirmative action. They don't understand what either means in real practice. So an idiot gets to work and expresses his disdain for DEI and attributes that probably to the reason why his colleague and coworker got an opportunity in the first place. And for that, I'm guessing he got slapped in the face or punched in the face or something similar. I guess it's something we can kind of laugh about until I just say everything I just said, and then it's not funny. Because we know that we're now living in a reality where people are given license to feel this way and to behave this way. And for them, it's a slap on the wrist. For us, it could be prison. It could be being unalived. It could be being deported. It could be being kidnapped, disappeared. Like the stakes are so much higher for us now. And the entire movement, the entirety of people that feel this way are being given license and assault rifles and masks and money and being rewarded the world. And here I go again, spiraling into the idea of what is happening right now and how much we are underreacting to it. The dystopian future that we've seen in all these movies in all of our lives and always understood that they were bad, we're living in it now. And more than half of the country is cheering for it and voting for it and organizing to uphold it. And it is extending beyond our country. The richest and most powerful white supremacist men in the world are now running the most powerful countries in the world, are the heads of the most powerful militaries in the world. So the idea that this thing kind of fades away or goes away or that we gonna be all right or that everything is okay, day by day starts to feel more and more ridiculous. And here we are, hyper normalizing, just getting up and going to work every day, getting up, taking his kids to school every day, not running through the streets, losing our minds because maybe we don't have a choice. But here we are, man. It all leads back to this.
You know, capitalism is indeed that great ball and chain. A lot of folks that are like really fans of capitalism, I think they're short-sighted. You know, I don't think anybody should be a fan of capitalism. I don't think anybody should be a fan of any economic framework for any society. I think it should be a relationship and it should evolve. But in any event,
capitalism has no virtues.
Well, yeah, but it's a great ball and chain. You're like kind of married to it, and so it took COVID in order for people to not have to go to work, in order for people to be able to get outside to protest what was going on during 2020. Outside of that, we might not have seen what we saw. Certainly not the numbers and the participation. And then to bring it full circle here. You're right. Donald Trump's words have real world implications. And this control tower is the one that was at the center of those two planes colliding. Like how did that happen? Blah, 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 whatever. And the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, that's what it is. That's under government control. And so, yeah, man, this has nothing to do with DEI. It's just interesting how people will always use that to try to diminish the value or the quality of work or the right to function in a capacity for Black folks by weaponizing that term. And I, for one, I'm grateful that this guy got punched in the face. All right, that's it for us.